Hello, it is story time, and it is story time with a trigger warning. And I am going to tell you some good and bad, mainly bad, but then it ends up being good, and we could use your help. And I'll tell you why. This story is about some very dear friends of mine, Lisa and Bill Woolley. They have 3 kids that I dearly love: Gabe Woolley, Glory Woolley, and Desiree Woolley. Desiree is the oldest of the 3. She had 2 children, has 2 children, and she gave guardianship over to her parents to raise while she was going through some addiction issues. She went to Teen Challenge. She did fabulous. She put in all the hard work. I mean, like, she worked it. Ended up volunteering for Teen Challenge and then going to work for Teen Challenge. She loved it. And then Glory is an athlete, like an outstanding athlete. She's a fireman, and Gabe is works for the House of Representatives for Broken Arrow District, a district in Broken Arrow. Anyway, I believe I've got that right, and forgive me if I've got it wrong. But the parents, Lisa and Bill, have guardianship, full guardianship, with permission from Desiree to raise her children until she got clean and sober and all that good stuff. Well, during that time, Elijah was a 1.5 years, and Clayton was 5.5. And they woke up one morning and Elijah had died in his sleep in bed. So they had called the authorities, as anybody would, and the detective en route is quoted as saying, "I'm on my way to a murder investigation because babies don't just die in their sleep." He had already decided he was going to press charges against them for murder before he ever even showed up at the house. He didn't believe there was such a thing as SIDS. Anyway, their nightmare began. They came and the coroners took the baby away, and I just can't even imagine what they went through during that. And then DHS, our CPS, came and took Clayton away, 5.5, until the investigation was through. And Lisa and Bill were charged for murder. They were put in jail. And over the course of the years, 2 years, something like that, they were charged with 26 different charges. When one wouldn't stick, they'd make up another one. When that one didn't stick, they'd make up another one. When that one didn't stick, they'd make up another one. 26 different times. Finally, they were exonerated. But the city and the press has already had a field day. They got all these murder threats and all this horrible stuff. People saying, "We don't want you living in this neighborhood." And it was just terrible. They went through hell. But the worst part was they didn't get Clayton back. They kept Clayton, and they wouldn't allow, CPS would not allow any of this family, any of them, to have any contact at all whatsoever with this child. And one day he lost his baby brother to death, and then was taken away from every other person that he has known in his life, not even allowed to speak to them. All these specialists were brought in. They found out that the medical examiner who examined the baby's body didn't even have a medical license. The Woolies, on their dime, brought in a state expert, an expert in the United States on SIDS. All these specialists, all these experts, they came in, they reviewed the autopsies, they brought in like the Oklahoma's #1 psychologist, and he did something called a psychosexual exams on Bill to see how he would react in certain situations regarding children, and it was proven that there was no way he could possibly harm a child like that. No way. Because by now they're trying to accuse them of sexually assaulting Elijah. And likely the reason for that is because when a child is born to a mother that has a drug addiction, he doesn't go to the bathroom very well. But these are really, really, really good grandparents. They kept taking him to the doctor. Everything is medically documented. The doctor told him over and over, yes, we have been seeing him, we've been treating him, we've been doing everything we can do, and they have been doing everything we asked them to do to help this baby to have proper bowel movements. Well, when he died, he had a pretty big bowel movement that was kind of stuck, kind of half in and half out. I'm sorry if this is kind of gross, but when they cleaned the baby up, rigor mortis had already set in, so his little anus stayed a little bit dilated. The DA, this is so disgusting and angers me to no end, took those photos and would carry those around to show people, trying to build a case saying that, look at this, he had to have been sexually assaulted. How sick is that? Anyway, they have gone through hell, and it doesn't get any better. Okay, so they're in jail. The DHS also takes Glory, who is their youngest child, who is 17 at the time, puts her in the foster care system until she turns 18. Well, the parents or grandparents, Lisa and Bill, are in jail during Glory's 18th birthday, during Glory's graduation. All of these pivotal moments, Glory didn't have her parents with her. It's just horrible. Anyway, finally, Lisa and Bill get out, and they have been fighting for 8 years to get to see this baby, to get custody back of Clayton. He's 15. Is that right? Yeah, 15 years old now. They won't let him have a phone call with his grandparents or his mom or anybody. CPS made all of these things that every mother is supposed to do who loses their child during something like this. And Desiree jumped through every single hoop, every drug test, everything that they ever wanted. And once she met that goal, they would add double the amount of stuff on top of it, and Desiree would have to meet a new milestone. But she did everything they asked. They have no reason whatsoever to keep that boy from his mother or his family. They would not allow any family member or even church member to see that baby, foster care that baby till things get sorted out. Nothing. I just can't imagine. He lost his baby brother, he lost his mom, he lost his aunt and uncle. And this is a tight-knit family, and they go to a very solid Bible-believing church that they were all very close to. And everyone is ripped out of that baby's life all at once. And so he had gone through the foster care system, and somehow DHS, which is our form of CPS here in Oklahoma, made it to where this woman could gain guardianship of Clayton. Not just foster care, she got guardianship of him. And he has run away repeatedly. He has told the school authorities that he is being abused at home. He has tried to get someone to listen. He has told friends and neighbors. He's run away to friends' homes and hid, and he'd tell the parents he'd rather die than go back. The parents will call Lisa and Bill, tell them what's going on, and saying, I don't know what to do. I mean, he would rather die than go back into this situation. But nobody's taking this seriously because the woman that he's living with works for Broken Arrow Police Department. So I guess they think that it is impossible for her to be as abusive as this child is saying. But for a 15-year-old to be suicidal for as many years as this child has been, because of the way he's being treated in that home. He's been denied food. He shows up with bruises. It's just unbelievable. So now the good part of this is finally, this Thursday, May 7th, they are going to have a judge listen to Desiree's story. She filed a protective order to protect her son. And so a judge is willing to listen. All this time, all these 8 years, they would not look at the evidence. None of it. They wouldn't look at the evidence? How ridiculous is that? And even when they came and they took Clayton and Elijah from the home, Lisa saved the diapers, she saved the crib sheets, you know, had everything ready. They didn't care about any of that. They had a trumped up story and just wanted to file murder charges, I guess. I can't even understand. I can't wrap my mind around it. It's Wagner County, and it's kind of what I understand from not just them, from several people. It's a good old boy system. So yeah, the detectives screwed up by already determining it was murder before even trying to investigate. Well, then someone else covers up for him. The medical examiner doesn't have a medical license, so someone else covers for him. And it's like this huge circus. But it just baffled me to no end that no one would look at any of the evidence, any of the statements from the experts. Nothing. But finally, May 7th in Tulsa County at the courthouse at 9 a.m. So I am asking you, please consider showing up at the courthouse in support of this family. They have been through hell, but especially for little Clayton. He just wants to go home. It's just so sad. And they took out billboards all around town. There's a movie out called Saving Clayton. It's a documentary. I highly suggest you look at it. There's a website called rescueclayton.com and a Facebook page. So if there's any changes in the court date or time, it'll be on the rescueclayton.com, on the Facebook page. But please, please, please show up and give support to this family. They have just been through hell. And if you know of anybody who has had their child kidnapped by CPS, you can understand what they're going through. It's just devastating. There was one more thing I was going to add. Oh, please pray for the judge. Pray, 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 pray. Pray that the judge has eyes to see and ears to hear the absolute truth of this story, and let justice prevail. Let that baby boy go home. Baby boy, he's 15. He probably wouldn't appreciate me calling him a baby boy. But anyway, thank you so much for listening to this, and we really appreciate your help. Go watch Saving Clayton. Yeah, it'll blow your mind. You just won't even believe it. Saving Clayton is the movie, and rescueclayton.com is the website. Thank you.